L.A. Laws, sponsored in part by the Heartbeat of America, Today Chevrolet, who invites you to experience the 88 Chevrolets and listen to your heartbeat.
Who says Chevy's better than Ford? USAC tested standard half-tons with their best automatics and half-ton payloads. 0 to 60, 40 to 55, pylon course handling.
Full-size Chevy beat Ford.
Level and uphill towing acceleration. Chevy with Vortec V6 beat Ford. Which truck should you be driving? USAC tests just answered it.
Now, get $500 cash back on new full-size CK pickups.
It's today's Chevy truck.
Who the heck are you?
Billy Crystal.
I'm Owen's friend.
Owen doesn't have a friend.
That's because he's shy.
No, he's not. He's fat and he's stupid.
Hi, I'm Owen.
Danny DeVito.
I kill your wife, you kill my mama. That's fair.
Throw Mama from the train.
Mrs. List, are you okay?
Beat it, chump. Larry!
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, December 11th at a theater near you.
Philip Michael Thomas hosts an all-new Motown Merry Christmas with the Pointer Sisters, the Temptations, and many more in Motown's Merry Christmas Monday.
Hi, I'm Angie Dickinson. As policewoman, I got a lot of experience handling dangerous weapons, so I'm well equipped to host Saturday Night Live with Pink Floyd's David Gilmour and Buster Poindexter.
Later tonight, it's comedy and music on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson as Johnny welcomes David Brenner and Ray Charles. Then an actor who's making a name for himself, Charlie Sheen, drops in on Late Night with David Letterman. Along for laughs is Steve Martin.
You know, this show is so good, the network has decided to preserve it on videotape.
The news is next, and tonight, chilling evidence, a note found in the wreckage of that PSA plane crash. And who gets through security at LAX? Our investigation into that continues.
The Peace Summit ends, and we will show you all of today's history-making events. And then David Sheehan reviews the movie Wall Street. Next on Nightside. Join us.
They never dreamed it would happen to them. This couple played lotto just for the heck of it. Now they have millions.
We were ecstatic when we won.
But we didn't want the money to go to our heads, so we both kept our jobs.
And we've got the same old friends.
Of course, we did buy a new car and added on to the house.
Play lotto. You could be next.
It's so handy when the kids visit.
Look! What to your wondering eyes now appear? Only at Burger King, it's cuddly reindeer. There's Rodney, Ramona, Rhonda, and Randy. At $1.99 each, the price is just dandy. Come in and buy any large sandwich here and pay just $1.99 for your reindeer. Collect all 4 at a Burger King sign. Get your reindeer right now, and the best food for fast times.
Most men would tell you that a car is like a woman. I don't think so. I think a car is like a man. I mean, think of the way that you would describe the Thunderbird Turbo Coupe. It's secure, there's no sharp edges, it's explosive, and there's lots of power. And very easy to handle. Boy, a good man's hard to find. Oh, but your Ford dealer has a wonderful selection of brand new T-Birds.
Metro traffic on Today in LA, mornings at 6:30. Keith Morrison. Kelly Lang. Fritz Coleman weather. Fred Rogan, sports. Jess Marlowe, cover story. And David Sheehan, entertainment. Channel 4 News, Nightside, #1 at 11.
Good evening. It was a day of conclusions. In Washington, an historic summit ended, its primary goal accomplished, its broader achievements less certain. Well, at home, this conclusion was virtually certain. The PSA crash was suicide and mass murder. Because today there was more chilling evidence to link fired U.S. Air employee David Burke to the tragic PSA plane crash. The FBI not only linked the gun found in the wreckage to him, but it also found a sinister revenge note. Patrick Healy reports.
Amid the wreckage, a still readable message written on an air sickness bag testifies to a maniacal quest for vengeance by a man who would show no leniency. The FBI believes longtime U.S. Air employee David Burke wrote the unsigned note to Ray Thompson, the airline boss who fired him. The FBI's agent in charge said it ended with these words.
I asked for some leniency for my family, remember? Well, I got none, and you'll get none.
Brutzing says with the evidence they now have, if Burke were alive, he would be prosecuted for air piracy. From human remains, a fingerprint, the FBI knows Burke was aboard Flight 1771. From a serial number, the FBI knows the recovered gun that had been fired 6 times was the .44 Magnum Burke got from a friend. From the voice recording, the FBI knows an intruder entered the cockpit. Sources in Washington say the recording bears a voice thought to be a flight attendant saying, "We've got a problem here." A man replies, "I'm the problem." The reference in the note of vengeance to leniency for his family illustrates the almost Jekyll and Hyde nature of Burke. Example, an executive with Safeco Life Insurance confirmed to Channel 4 News that just last month, Burke had taken out a new policy, $65,000 in value, to be paid to his estate. What Burke may not have known is if it can be proven he brought about his own death, the policy does not have to be paid. Patrick Healy, Channel 4 News.
There are still questions that remain about the PSA plane tragedy. The FBI admits that they searched Burke's Long Beach home for explosives. There's still some speculation that he might have had explosives with him as well as a gun. And of course, the big question, how did Burke get on that plane with a gun? Our Phil Schumann has been investigating the security that is supposed to prevent guns from being smuggled on airplanes, and he's here now with more of an exclusive report. Phil.
Of course, Burke was a former airline employee, Kelly, and one of the biggest problems out at LAX seems to be that former employees who know the systems there can bypass security. And if those ex-employees still have valid ID badges, they can go virtually anywhere in the airport, and there's no way to tell they don't belong there. Martin Lomelli no longer works for Sky Chefs, the airline catering company, but a year after he left, his ID, which he still had, got him through a close check at the company gate. And when he came out moments later, he was stopped, questioned, and later taken away by airport police. The problem is that airport ID badges remain valid, even if someone leaves a company, and that's all someone needs to get through security.
Anyway.
Example, Eileen Nelson still has her World Airways IDs, keys, and uniform 4 years after she left.
I'd like to see security really beefed up at the airport. It's the holiday season.
And go on yourself.
Another example is Randy Linkmeyer, who also worked for Sky Chef until 6 months ago. He still has his IDs and keys.
We can go any place in this airport we want. All I got to do is show that badge.
Even though you don't work there anymore?
Correct.
One way to possibly avoid this problem, computer-coded photo ID cards, which open doors electronically. If an employee leaves, he can be taken out of the system immediately. Stefan Van Stinkesty is marketing these security systems.
With our system, as soon as somebody gets fired or hired, he is automatically entered or deleted out of the system and can the next minute not gain access to any of the facilities any longer.
So in instant security?
Correct.
That is apparently in the Anchorage, Alaska airport. He's trying to sell that to the folks at LAX. Now, Martin Lomelli, the young gentleman we introduced you to at the beginning of that story, is still in police custody tonight out at LAX, and they are questioning him about just why he had the ID and what he was planning on doing with it tonight. Keith, Kelly?
All right. Thanks very much, Phil. Other major news this day. The Superpowers Summit in Washington is over now. The past 4 days have sparked hopes that we might be entering a new era of peace. Soviet leader Gorbachev surprised everybody in Washington this morning by stopping his motorcade and getting out and shaking hands with people in the crowd, a pressing of the flesh, American style.
All of a sudden, he got out of the limo and started walking towards us, and Kimberly goes, "Oh, my God, he's coming over."
What a politician, I tell you.
Then at a mass news conference, he boasted about the progress he and Mr. Reagan made toward an agreement of long-range nuclear missiles.
We have achieved considerable headway on this problem, which is the major one for the Soviet Union, the United States, and for other nations.
So the Soviet leader was in an extremely upbeat mood as he left Washington this evening for the return trip home. He will make a stop in East Germany to brief Warsaw Pact nations on the summit talks.
President Reagan was also in a very optimistic mood tonight as he delivered a post-summit address to the nation. He said the two leaders made a dramatic movement in arms control with a system to guarantee there'll be no cheating.
We have a verification procedure that assures each side that the missiles of the other side have been destroyed and that new ones aren't built.
Using graphics to show the area relieved of a big nuclear threat, Mr. Reagan talked about future negotiations.
This summit was a clear success. We made progress on each item in our four-part agenda. Mr. Gorbachev and I have agreed to meet in several months in Moscow to continue what we've achieved during these past 3 days. I believe there is reason for both hope and optimism.
So now that this historic summit is over, what exactly have we gained? Jess is going to show us some cover story. Jess.
Kelly, before the summit started, there had been talk of a second treaty agreement that might be reached, maybe a timetable for Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan, perhaps even an accommodation on Star Wars. But veteran Soviet watchers warned not to expect too much. Signing of the INF treaty to eliminate intermediate-range nuclear weapons was considered about the best we could expect. And in the main, that's what we got. There's no question we experienced a thaw in U.S.-Soviet relations, and that is no small accomplishment. Americans responded to the Gorbachev's poise and public relations savvy. They charmed Washington society.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
And there was no talk of an evil empire. And as the summit ended, simply having discussed our differences was considered significant.
The General Secretary and I expressed different points of view. We did so bluntly. And for that reason alone, our talks have been useful in this area.
A Soviet marshal visiting the Pentagon was asked about the arms talks.
The negotiations have been going on. They are not yet completed. They're going on with difficulties, not easily.
There was an awkward moment this morning when Gorbachev was 90 minutes late for a meeting with the president. Sources say it was a result of disagreements over Star Wars. But Mr. Reagan kidded him about it when he did arrive.
I thought you'd gone home.
When Gorbachev was ready to go home, both men expressed hopes for future agreements.
I'm pleased some progress has been made toward a strategic arms reduction treaty over the last 3 days.
In our talks with President Ronald Reagan, some headway has been made on the central issue of that process, although we still have a lot of work to do.
And that work will continue, and President Reagan hopes his scheduled visit to Moscow in the spring will result in signing a treaty to limit long-range weapons. And on that note, the summit ended. Kelly?
All right. Okay. Thank you, Jess. And we have more coming up. Fritz looks ahead to the weekend weather. He says he might be toying around with the forecast a little bit. I'm terribly sorry about that. Then we clue you in on some legal hassles behind the scenes at L.A. Law.
And David Sheehan previews the holiday blockbuster called Wall Street. And, of course, our Freddie has sports, and he is here as we speak with a preview.
All right, Kel, now this was a big night for the Clippers. If they continue to play like this, no more Clipper jokes. While, unfortunately, more of the same for the Kings. Also, tonight, the trade that didn't happen. And it has been much too long. So tonight, a trip to the famed squared circle later during the sports.
So far, we've got the matching plaid hat set, and Mom's got the Spectra camera.
This holiday season, give the only gift that lets you hold the picture in your hand while you still hold the feeling in your heart. The Polaroid Spectra system.
So far, Mom's way ahead.
When you give someone a gift pack from Hickory Farms this Christmas, you're giving them the world. Because we go to Nebraska and Iowa for our award-winning beefsteak. Winstead, Minnesota for Uncle Walt's cheddar, Virginia for our sparkling apple shine cider, and San Francisco for delicious candies. We search the world to find unique foods for our Christmas gift packs. So come to Hickory Farms. We'd like to put one together for you.
I am beginning to repel people I'm trying to seduce.
From the director of Terms of Endearment. Something very funny. Very romantic.
Were you just diddling me? Is that it?
And very real.
He personifies everything that you've been fighting against. And I'm in love with you.
Broadcast news.
Wouldn't this be a great world if insecurity and desperation made us more attractive?
Rated R.
Starts Wednesday, APCO Westwood opens Christmas Day everywhere.
Your Mazda dealer is having an incredible year-end clearance, and the Information Center has the details.
The deals are really flying on every Mazda in stock, like the 323 hatchback, already a great buy at just $59.99. Get a special low limited-time lease rate from Mazda American Credit on a 929 or any Mazda. Or make your best deal on a Mazda truck. Hurry, year-end clearance time ends soon.
Come drive a Mazda. One drive will make the difference.
My dad has 2, my brother has 1, I now have 3, Mom has 2. I had it 2 years, and it's going to be 3 years in December.
Almost 5 years.
For 10 years. No problems whatsoever. No problem.
Absolutely none.
More reliable than my husband. My husband's not around anymore, but my Seiko is.
Seiko.
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 Seiko, it's just your style.
Available in the gift accessory department of all Bullock's department stores.
A blood clotting agent used by some hemophiliacs is being recalled tonight. 6 Canadian patients using it have been tested positive for AIDS. There's no certainty they got it from the clotting agent, but it's being recalled just in case. Armor Pharmaceutical recalling certain lots of its HT factorate, in which the 6-digit code begins either with the letter A or the letter B. The expiration date may be as late as December 1988. Now, patients or their doctors may telephone the number on your screen, 800-533-6165, to get more information about this.
All right, and here's some good news. We certainly can't complain about the weather.
Absolutely not.
No.
One more day of this nice weather, the offshore flow, kind of the National Weather Service called it an anemic Santa Ana today.
To you.
To me specifically. Do you think I should have read anything into that? But anyway, over the weekend we'll get a little bit cooler. We'll get cooler northerly winds, and we'll drop temperatures by as much as 10 degrees on maybe Saturday, but probably Sunday, and get some clouds from a storm that'll be to our east. But we're looking around for the best toys for Christmas. You do that when you're a new parent. Even
of course.
If you don't want them. Here's the traveling hamburger.
Good.
And here's another thing. I don't even know what they call this dog, but it does all kinds of neat things. I like that one. And here's the one I like. The slightly dazed CHP officer here, who later gives himself a field sobriety test, fails it, handcuffs himself, and takes him to the station.
Right.
Anyway, a nice toy with all the things operating, and they're all too expensive. High of 78. My son's favorite toy is a cordless phone. And it's like low 51. And 61 right now. The barometric pressure is 30.03, lower than the earlier shows. Humidity 75%, winds out of the southeast at 5. Not a lot of trouble spots around the country tomorrow, but just a few. Light rain and snow in the upper Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley tomorrow. Probably light snow and rain. Some snow in the central Rockies. Maybe some snow and rain in the central plains around Kansas. Those nasty Chinook winds on the east face of the Rockies, very similar to our Santa Anas, continue tonight. They had 70 and 80-mile-an-hour winds clocked in Casper, Wyoming, doing some roof damage to residences there. And today at one time, Wonderview, Colorado had 95-mile-an-hour winds. Now keep in mind, hurricane strength winds are only 75 miles an hour, so very nasty. Snow continues in the northwest, 7 more inches in the Cascades, and since the beginning of this little system of heavy snow they've had, 42 inches. So there was a drought there to begin the season, and they're quickly making up and then some. High pressure over Utah, Nevada, and northern Arizona, setting up an offshore flow. Winds will get even worse on Saturday. Not worse, but a little more substantial. 20 and 30-mile-an-hour gusts tomorrow. Clear and windy. We'll start to see some clouds from a storm developing inland later. Beautiful day again tomorrow. It was just gorgeous today. Overnight lows tonight, pretty chilly, too. High desert 36 for an overnight low. Will be 37 in the mountains. Not quite good enough for snowmaking. Low 50s in the valleys, about 52 along the coastline. Daytime highs tomorrow up in the mountains, though, be a beautiful 63. I hope it's not enough to ruin what they've made up there at night. Mid and upper 70s in the valleys and low 70s at the coast. Here's your forecast tonight. Clear, cool, breezy in some areas, low 54. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 78. Then we'll start to drop a little bit. Northerly winds, maybe some clouds Sunday and Monday from a storm in Nevada. And all in all, no precipitation. Another beautiful day tomorrow. Great way to end the week.
All right, and we don't want to see any outdoor Christmas trees blowing down, so you'll take care of that, okay?
I'll work on that, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, here's one case we somehow doubt will be fictionalized on L.A. Law. There's a dispute going on between the 2 creators of that Emmy Award-winning show, and now the rift could be going to court. The co-creators of this smash hit TV show are Stephen Bochco of Hill Street fame and Terry Louise Fisher, herself a lawyer. Fisher has now filed a $50 million lawsuit against 20th Century Fox for breach of contract. Wants more duties next season, more power, a lot more money. Maybe she'll get it. Who knows?
We'll be on top of the case,
Yes.
you know that. Coming up, we've got David Sheehan to tell us whether we should invest in Wall Street. $6 for the movie, that is.
But first, Freddie will show us why Clipper fans are in a holiday mood they can't believe.
This Saturday only, the spectacular one-day sale at May Company. 16 hours of store-wide savings. Shop 8 a.m. to midnight. This Saturday only. Only at May Company.
Something smart has happened to the new Pacific Bell Yellow Pages.
My mama told me you better shop around. Oh yeah, you better shop around. Shop around.
Starting now, there are maps of local streets and shopping districts to help you locate the store that has what you need.
My mama told me you better shop around.
The brand new Pacific Bell Smart Yellow Pages. It's smarter to do it by the book.
Go ahead, Jason. Go on. Ring the doorbell.
Merry Christmas. Jason, what are you doing?
For all those times you relied on them, give them something they can rely on. The dependable and affordable XL from Hyundai.
From the Movado Museum Collection, introducing the Black Sapphire watch. Water-resistant, sleek, sculptured black chromium stainless steel. The futuristic interpretation of the classic. The Black Sapphire watch from Movado. Available at Slavics.
You want comedy?
Yes, yes, yes.
We got comedy.
Just like Mary Tyler Moore.
90 minutes of it.
Stop. No, quit. I swear you're too much.
Starting with George Schlatter's Comedy Club at 6:30.
Wait! Wait!
You want laughs?
It's a great idea. The best.
We got laughs on It's a Living at 7.
You dig it?
And Throb at 7:30.
I'm hooked.
90 minutes jam-packed with comedy, Saturday starting at 6:30, only on Channel 4.
Freddie is here, and he's surprised. We're all surprised. We're all aghast, but they're doing very well, these guys.
The Clippers. We're going to have NBA playoffs in Los Angeles. Maybe the Lakers are struggling, but the Clippers.
Yeah.
Would the Clippers make the playoffs?
Hey.
Who knows?
Well, it's a little soon to tell, realistically. Let's not, you know, but they're playing pretty well. You know, when you play good defense in the NBA, you always have a chance to win. And for the 6th straight time tonight, the Clippers held their opponent to under 100 points. Let's go to the sports arena. Clippers against Seattle. Second half at Seattle in green. Nate McMillan with a basketball. Bottom of the screen. Thank you very much. A pass is stolen there by Mike Woodson. Woodson over to Larry Drew for the lay-in, and the Clippers led by 10 points. All right, now the Clips are in white, of course. Here is Ken Norman to Mike Woodson. Inside to Benoit Benjamin. Benjamin, the jam, the foul. Big Ben had 16. Then he went to the foul line, and he missed the shot. Xavier McDaniel with the rebound. He brought the ball up the court, and then he gave it right to Mike Woodson, who put it in for 2 of his 27. Now here is the brick of the night. McDaniel not even close, and watch the Clippers go. It's on the run for the Clippers. Larry Drew with a sweet pass to Michael Cage. Clippers roll to a 113-96 win. In Chicago, Bulls in white against Milwaukee. Michael Jordan in fine form tonight. He takes the long pass from Charles Oakley and scores on the reverse around Jack Sikma. Jordan on the way to a big night. In the second half, you talk about in-your-face. Jordan with a running jam over 7-foot Paul Mulkeski. He had 32 to lead the Bulls to a 111-105 win. Rounding it out, Indiana, New York, and Houston picked up victories. Robbie Ftork is quickly learning what it is like to coach the Kings. He's been behind the bench for 2 games, and he's lost them both. First period, Kings in purple against the Bruins. Bernie Nichols over to Steve Duchesne. He fired, and the shot was tipped in by Paul Fenton. The Kings led Boston 2-1. Second period, score tied at 2. And watch the passing by the Bruins here. Finally, they slid the puck out in front of the net, and Lyndon Byers was there to deflect it past Glenn Healy. Boston led 3-2. It was 4-2 Boston in the third period when Dave Taylor circled around the net, passed to Luke Robitaille, wide open. He put it past Doug Keynes, but that was it for the Kings. They came up 1 short, losing it 4-3. In Philadelphia tonight, they gave Flyer goalie and his wife, Ron Hextall, and his wife, a new car because Ron scored a goal the other night. That was very generous. Ranger goalie Bob Froese wanted a car, too, so he scored a goal tonight. On himself, unfortunately, Flyer Shell Samuelson fired. Froese had it. No, he didn't. He put it into his own net. One more time, you'll see that Froese had the puck but lost it. I do not think he'll be getting a car for that. Philadelphia beat the Flyers by a score of 5-3. One other game in the books tonight, St. Louis, Minnesota by a score of 5-4. One trade in baseball today, White Sox sent left-hander Floyd Bannister to Kansas City for 4 minor league pitchers. The hot rumor of the day, Dodgers trading Pedro Guerrero to Detroit for Kirk Gibson. Only a rumor. Deal fell through. Dodger brass does remain in Dallas, though. So far, all they've done is talk. Now, let us go to the famed squared circle. It has been way too long. We call the man going up on the ropes, the Mammoth Man, the M&M Man against TR. Watch the M&M Man. He wants to, oh no, the soprano maker for the M&M Man. That's going to hurt you. And now, see that rope burn. When you get rope burn like that, you're in pain. The M&M Man is down. TR looking for support. He had the M&M down. Here comes his manager. He goes after him, but the M&M Man, the Mountain Man, the Mammoth Man, flips him over and wins it by a pin. Wow, lucky he survived that.
Boy, that M&M Man is just steel, isn't it?
He really
just a hard body.
That really is. That is a hard body. Guy has been working out on the weights, no question.
The soprano maker?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Fred.
Thank you,
Well,
Fred.
still to come, David Shin reviews the new movie Wall Street, starring two members of the Sheen family, Dad Martin and son Charlie. Coming up.
And not to mention yourself. Look, save the workers of the world unite speech for now.
Mexico.
Haven't you waited long enough? Come, feel the warmth of Mexico.
Just a reminder. This year, choose your credit cards as carefully as you choose your gifts. Because when you buy your presents with the Discover card, you get something back. A yearly cashback bonus on every purchase. What other card lets you give and receive? For people who expect value. Use it at places like these.
Your Chrysler Plymouth dealers are making their best deals of the year on the best selection ever, like Chrysler's Fifth Avenue. It comes with a bigger engine and more standard luxury features than the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, and you'll save over $3,400 with factory-to-dealer incentives, maybe even more. Chrysler New Yorker combines turbo performance with stately creature comforts for thousands less than the Buick Electra. Both come with an unbeatable 770 protection plan. Buy yours at your Southern California Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
One of the most fascinating books I've read in some time is the autobiography of former Speaker of the House, Mr. Thomas P. O'Neill. It's called Man of the House, and it's filled with astute, witty, and revealing observations on life and politics.
And who knows more about political life than Thomas P. O'Neill?
Man of the House, published at $19.95, now just $14.95 at B. Dalton Bookseller.
You can call me Books.
You can call me Tip.
Polo isn't just a game. It's a tradition, a way of life.
Polo by Ralph Lauren. The Polo sports suitor and matching shoe bags, yours for $28.50 with any 1850 Polo purchase. Now at May Company.
Entertainment notes now. For years, John Cougar Mellencamp has been unable to squeeze tiny Chillicothe, Ohio into his busy concert schedule. However, after 6,000 people there signed a petition begging him to perform there, the man who made the song Small Town a hit decided he just couldn't turn them down. He says he will give 2 concerts there, and both of them will be free. Oh. And Sammy Davis Jr. got an artificial left hip today in a 2.5-hour operation. The 62-year-old entertainer had the surgery last year, but it was not a total success. He is reported tonight resting comfortably at an undisclosed hospital in the L.A. area.
Now, Oliver Stone of Platoon fame has a new movie out. It is called Wall Street. David Sheehan was paid to see it tonight. The question is, should you pay to see the movie, David?
Well, it's not quite a blue-chip security, you know, but there are dividends to be had if you're willing to take a chance. The problem is, as Keith mentioned, you go into Wall Street perhaps too fully aware that it is the latest creation of Oliver Stone, the Oscar-winning director of last year's Oscar-winning picture, Platoon. So there's kind of a twinge or two of disappointment whenever Wall Street gets stuck in too much stock market techno talk or too little character reality from the people involved in the story. But even when it is disappointing, I think Wall Street is more of a movie than many movies even try to be. The sheer challenge of trying to dramatize the inner workings of a system capable of insider trading scandals and the like, while explaining to some extent how that system works, is a tremendous undertaking in itself.
Something big is going down. I want to know where he goes and what he sees.
I could lose my license. That's inside information.
But what gives the picture its passion is its portrait of power-hungry, money-grubbing greed, as personified by this devil of the dollar figure played to the hilt by Michael Douglas.
If you're not inside, you are outside, okay?
Like any devil worth his horns, Douglas is out to buy the soul of an ambitious innocent, played by Charlie Sheen, who is so willing to sell, he even turns against his own father, played by his own father, Martin Sheen.
What I see is a jealous old machinist who can't stand the fact that his son's become more successful than he has.
What you see is a guy who never measured a man's success by the size of his wallet.
It is a movie that's bound to have you confused and befuddled at times with its substance and its style, and it may even leave you with more loose ends than you really like, but I think you'll also be left with a tremendous sensation of having been through something, an experience that's likely to linger in your mind and heart long after the movie's over. And for my money, that's the kind of stock I'd buy. Now, some people may not agree with that.
We even have to think about it a bit.
I'm even going to go out and see it again because there's so much. I even felt ignorant at times, not knowing enough about that world. You know.
All right, boy, it sure is timely, too.
Thank
Thanks
you,
very
David.
much, David. And that's going to do it for us on Nightside. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you tomorrow, and good night.
If you don't want to tie up your money, park it at Coast Savings. 6-month rate on 90-day CD.
He gave you this watch?
Mom, it's not that bad, but I was hoping for a Longines.
And this is the man you're going to marry?
A new classic, the Longines 400. Like strands of gold, it caresses your wrist. And the new Longines 88, the look of solid gold ingots, the feel of heaven itself. Both with unparalleled Swiss quartz accuracy and water resistance. Both for men and women, and both products of the Longines with now.
Available at Wisefields Jewelers.
Is this your idea of a bite to eat? Leek soup and salmon with hollandaise sauce? Then you have the taste for Noah. Does an everyday meal look like this? Is this the little something you whip up for the crowd? Then you have the taste for Noah. Uncommon soups, exceptional sauces, bouillon and salad dressings. Is this your idea of a simple dinner for two? Noah, where taste is everything.
Power saws, drills, sanders. Giving one for Christmas can be a bit intimidating, especially if you're not familiar with these items. But here at Builders Emporium, our people are trained to answer the toughest questions, to help you make the right choice. And if the person receiving your gift isn't happy with your selection, we'll take it back for a full refund. No questions, no hassles. Because at Builders Emporium, we want you and yours to have the greatest Christmas.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
Let you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
The Clapper is available at Thrifty, Woolworth, Osco Drug, and Thrifty Junior. Stay tuned for The Tonight Show next as Johnny welcomes David Brenner and Ray Charles, followed immediately by Late Night with David Letterman. And David's guest tonight, Steve Martin and Charlie Sheen.
From Hollywood, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon along with Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra inviting you to join Johnny and his guest, David Brenner, and the fabulous Ray Charles. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Bill, I know your type. Now that Gorbachev's leaving, you come crawling back to me. How are you, Bill? You sound good tonight. I guess today was the final day, I guess, of the summit. And, you know, I found out something. The two world leaders didn't get along too well. But Ronnie and Gorby did. Last night, the president said to Nancy, well, he said, today I asked Gorbachev to take his troops out of Afghanistan. And Nancy said, never mind that. Tell him to take his wife out of Washington. What? Did you see that rather frosty tour of the White House? With Nancy Reagan taking Mrs. Gorbachev through the White House? I wouldn't say it was chilly between them, but their interpreter was Mrs. Paul. Nancy, now this is true. Nancy showed Reza, is that the way they pronounce her name? Reza, a painting of Lady Bird Johnson. And Reza said, what century was that painted in? True. And Nancy looked at her dress and said, the 20th century, dear, and you should try shopping in it. You keep hearing, right, how glamorous Race is, how chic, I mean, how photogenic. I mean, she looks like Jane Withers. I understand when Nancy finished showing the White House to Race, Nancy said, there's something else I'm looking forward to showing you. And Race says, what's that? And Nancy said, the airport. No, I guess the press made more out of it. But I don't think they were exactly have cookouts or sleepovers at each other's house. Before they parted, though, you probably don't know this, Nancy and Race signed their own agreement. Did you know that? A pact to eliminate medium-priced dress designers. That's what they did. Anyway, Gorbachev left this evening, as you probably know, and when he got to the airport, a baggage handler ran up to him and said, hey, great news, we found your tuxedo. I liked that so much, and it went right in the crapper. Remember, he didn't wear a tuxedo to the White House dinner, you know, he had a black tie. Was apparently lost at the airport. Poor Vice President Bush. You didn't hear much about him on this trip. He finally met Gorbachev, and they had a breakfast meeting. And poor George just could not forget for a moment he was vice president. Bush asked Gorbachev what he wanted for breakfast, and then George left to go get it. Am I getting close to anything you like at all? See, Bush tried to explain who he was to Gorbachev. He said, I'm the vice president. In other words, he said, if you get a cold, I'm the guy they send to the funeral. Yeah, I like it. I hadn't seen Van Cliburn for many years. The pianist, I guess he won the Tchaikovsky competition in Moscow. How many years? About 30 years ago?
It was exactly 27 years ago.
Well, I wasn't searching for an exact date. I said about 30. It was exactly...
About 30.
You're so easy. No, he was the first American, I guess, to win the...
He was, yes.
Tchaikovsky concert in Russia?
Absolutely.
About 27 years ago.
27 years ago.
27 years ago. And I guess has he been playing regularly since then?
Now and then he gets a few gigs, yeah.
It was kind of sweet. Did you see him playing? He was singing in impeccable Russian. And Mrs. Gorbachev and Premier Gorbachev were singing along with him. He played a thing called, I believe, Moscow Nights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
And he was singing. And they were singing along to this Russian song, Moscow Night. Then Van Cliburn played something Reagan's could sing with, Happy Trails to You. But why am I having such a good time? But yeah, the security, Washington must have been a mess. Security was incredible. Gorbachev woke up in the morning and there was a KGB agent was there. He went to the bathroom. KGB agent was there. Followed him in. Came home at night. KGB agent was there. In other words, he was treated like the average Russian citizen while he was here. 27 years ago, huh? Well, I guess that's enough about that. Christmas is what, three weeks? Less than 3 weeks away? My Malibu neighbor, well, they're not neighbors, Jim and Tammy. Out at Malibu temporarily. I saw Tammy today decorating a weeping willow. One little item in the news that might have escaped you, but it certainly didn't escape me. 89 years ago, this week, the United States bought the Philippines for $20 million. Did you know that? They bought Alaska for $7 million. I think they paid $15 million for the Louisiana purchase. Do you realize if they could save that money instead of spending it, today we could have bought a Van Gogh painting? And I thank you for your support. Anyway, tonight we got a good show. Very funny Mr. David Brenner is with us tonight. And you guys worked it out this afternoon with the great...
Yeah, boy, did we ever.
I'll bet you did. With the one and only Mr. Ray Charles. And we'll be back right after this.
Introducing American Classic Crackers. Quality you can see and taste. Rich, crisp, satisfying. American Classic Crackers. Quality you can see, quality you can taste.
Hey, guess what I'm getting Mom for Christmas?
Oh, another Ferrari.
Better than that. The top-rated Magnavox compact disc player. In fact, everyone on my list is getting a Magnavox.
How about Sarah?
Portable CD.
Grandpa?
52-inch TV.
Nancy?
Lightweight camcorder.
Oh, smart, Tom. Very smart.
Yeah. Boy, are they going to be surprised.
Not anymore. You just told everybody they're getting a Magnavox for Christmas.
But they don't know when.
They don't know when.
With the Cuisinart Basic, I can make pizza, cookies, tacos, and save money. It's a big food processor with a small price. A chopped, sliced, shredded price. The Cuisinart Basic needs a lot of dough for a little dough, and I love dough.
Ever wonder what we intelligent, independent, adventurous types drink? Celestial Seasonings herb tea. Even the box is special. And when you open it, oh, ever walk into a tea shop? They call this one Lemon Zinger. And they mean it. Celestial Seasonings taste richer. They put in more fruit and herbs. No, I haven't actually counted them. Oh, you won't have to either.
Celestial Seasonings. Herb teas. More tastefully done.
This Saturday only, 8 a.m. to midnight, the store-wide one-day sale at May Company. Saturday only. Save on mattress sets from Sealy, Serta, Simmons, and Spring Air. Queen, full, or twin two-piece set, just $188. Your choice of firmness. Your choice of famous brand. Your choice of queen, full, or twin two-piece sets, just $188. Plus, you may buy now with no payment till March 88. It's the store-wide one-day sale, 8 a.m. to midnight. This Saturday only. Only at May Company.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's all, folks. Bring it all out. All righty.
All right.
What do we have? What is this stuff, Beck? Oh, is this from John Schrum?
Yes, sir, it is.
We're supposed to replace this carpet, right? It looks
is about
looks
time.
pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
And John Shrum, who does all the sets and the scenic design for the show, brought in some material this afternoon. You want to see some of the stuff?
Sure.
We didn't know what to do, so we thought, well, look, this audience has got a pretty good eclectic taste, right, folks? I guess he's going to do this carpet in front of the couch. All of this. Wow. Well, no matter what the cost is, I'm going to do the couch. Now, what is this? That looks terrible.
They don't like that.
Don't care for that. All right. How about this fabric? Tough crowd. All right, folks.
They don't like anything.
Here's one I think will catch your attention. Oh, come on. Do we have anything here that's decent? All right, let me see. Well, this is terrible looking.
Somebody said beautiful.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, they like that.
It's like a motel in Santa Fe. I think I was there once, the Whoopee Hold On Motel. I guess this is your carpet samples? I don't know about it. How about what we got here? Hey, why? Then why are we changing?
Well, sir, it was up to them. So why don't you use your judgment? And to hell with them.
Wait a minute.
Well, why don't we just leave this? Well, why were we going to change this?
It's ugly.
Well, they don't like any of this stuff either.
They're right.
Okay. Well, here's one now.
Oh.
Oh, boy. All right. Okay. We have something here I think you'll find entertaining. Of course, you're the final judge.
Always.
Always. How many of you are expecting something from Santa Claus this year? Christmas. All of you know. Okay. As you know from childhood, when you put a request into Santa Claus, he considers every request. All the young kids watching know that very carefully. And first he checks, remember that list? And he's checking it twice to see what?
If you're naughty or nice.
If you're naughty or nice. Well, folks, we managed to obtain a copy through the North Pole Freedom of Information Act. Didn't know it existed, did you? It's a long list of names with the word naughty or nice opposites. This is what Santa has officially at the North Pole. Before the show, we ask you to fill out your cards, some cards, people in the studio audience, and tell you what you would like from Santa Claus. And we ran that against this list to see if your names were on here. This is the official naughty or nice list from the North Pole. You see, it's even on a scroll. And see, Andy Klein, are you here? Very high-pitched voice from Andy. You weren't Andy, were you? Where's Andy Klein? Northeast California. Well, you know what Andy wants for Christmas? A black Lamborghini. Right, isn't that a very expensive Italian sports car?
Sure is.
Well, now, we checked your name here against Santa's list, Andy. No. Nope. It says no present because you were naughty. Santa has a list. It says when you were 6 years old, you planted tiny mines in the fishbowl and watched your guppies orbit the chandelier. So, out. This may work. This may work. This is Sally Gonzalez. Where are you, Sally? You're up there. Okay, Sally. Sally wants a new outfit and shoes and a set of cooking utensils. Let's see what Santa has on his list here. Sorry, Sally, it says naughty. You may not remember. It says you once told your kid brother that the black stuff that collects on the mouth of ketchup bottles makes good hair mousse. This is going to work. This is going to work. We've never tried this before, but this is by the premise, by the bit. Bob Alderman from Bristol, Connecticut. Okay, Bob says he wants new skis and a computer. Nobody is doing for well here. Santa has naughty, Bob. Apparently you pulled a prank on the residents of an old folks' home by putting pictures of missing teeth on the sides of their milk of magnesia cartons. Actual scroll gives it some validity. John, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Simerant? Simerant. Sorry, John. Detroit. You want a video camcorder? Aha. Winner. John? Nice. Yes, Santa says you were nice, John. Says during hunting season, you did not blast any duck flying the Panamanian flag. Really reaching. Let's see. Tom Murray from Baltimore? Right there. Tom wants a new Mercedes, a French maid, and the original sheet music by Mozart. Did you also put a portable seat for waiting in the Tonight Show line? No. Santa says here in this scroll, we have a scroll here, you were naughty. According to Santa, once in the Boy Scouts, you used a marching flag to fan an outhouse fire. Move along quickly here. Arlene Young from Fort Worth, Texas. Were you, Arlene? Okay. Arlene wants a mink coat. This audience has not been nice. So I'm afraid you were naughty. Says you once dressed up your pit bull as a lawn jockey. And when 2 Jehovah's Witnesses rang your bell in 8... Looks like we pasted these on here. It ate their watchtower. So somebody's pasted all over this scroll. It's supposed to be written out in longhand, but they're just pasted on here. Randy Hausman from Boulder, Colorado. You want your own McDonald's restaurant. Good news. Good news, Randy. According to Santa, you were nice. Santa knows that you were too modest to admit this, but several years ago, during your amateur knife juggling routine, you inadvertently neutered Pee Wee Herman. Got more time here? Or scroll. Kathy Muir from Los Angeles. Kathy wants a new car, snow during her next ski trip, and her neighbor's husband. Sorry, Kathy. Santa says you were naughty because of the time you bought that hermit a seesaw. Not a good gift for a person who lives alone. Me, what else we got here? Ruth Limer or Lemer? Limmer. Sorry, Ruth. From Columbus, Ohio, a new bedroom suite with waterbed. Mm-hmm. Ah. Says you're going to get it. Congratulations, Ruth. I see you work here at the DMV. There's something else that says you're going to get the bedroom suite, but Santa's going to make you wait in line for 6.5 hours to get it. Hermit and the seesaw. Don Norris from Huntsville, Alabama. Okay, Don. Don't get too excited. Don wants a 1957 Ford T-Bird. That was a classic car, wasn't it? And a new head of hair. No, Don, I'm sorry. According to this report, says you were very naughty. Says once using your ham radio and a satellite dish, you broadcast your wife's bedroom sounds over Radio Free Europe. I guess that's enough. Anyway, folks, that's our excellent score. cheated. Well, I had something to hold up, yes. I'm supposed to hold up a package. What the... Where's the package?
Is this it right here?
I don't think this is it, is it? What? If you've already taken your contact lenses out for the evening, well, you can't see me anyway, so what the... Here's a good reason to...
Every time you blink, tiny deposits form on your contacts, building up blink after blink, until nice soft lenses feel dry and irritating. They need a bath in OptiZyme Weekly Cleaner. It removes irritating lens deposits other cleaners miss, so your lenses feel soft, smooth, and comfortable again.
OptiZyme from Alcon. We can help you love your lenses.
New Purina Dog Chow brand dog food for small dogs. Tiny bite-sized pieces. Big taste and nutrition.
Max! Dinner.
It's big news for small dogs.
In one of these, and in one of these. One of these lasts longer than all the rest.
Laboratory tests prove in most devices, Energizer lasts longer than any other battery.
New Energizer. Oi!
If you've thought about going, think about now. Because now, TWA's low fares make the Big Apple a temptation. Or explore the best of Boston, another great buy. Tour the nation's capital. Or feel free to see Philadelphia, birthplace of the Constitution. TWA has low fares to almost anywhere you've thought about going. Today's TWA. Find out how good we really are.
Members of the jury, the accused stands before you on trial for his sins.
Forgive me. I loved you all.
Liar, you only love your dreams.
Dreams are where a man invents himself. Is that a sin?
Your life will be a great and lonely one.
Father, forgive me.
You belong to no one.
I rest my case. If living with obsession is a sin, let me be guilty.
Calvin Klein's obsession for men. I'd know him in the dark.
Exclusively at Robinson's.
Okay, we are back. Okay. It's always good to have David Brenner on the show. David goes way back with The Tonight Show. I think he made his first appearance probably, what, 15, 16 years ago? And David's going to be in Anchorage, Alaska. It's a great place to be during the Christmas season. It can't be December 10th. Today's December the 10th. Says he's going to be in Anchorage, Alaska, December the 10th. How can he be there December the 10th? It's December the 10th as I am talking, is it not?
Right.
Well, we better get him out here. He's got to get up there quickly. We'll find out. He's going to be at the Sullivan Arena, and he's going to be opening the showroom at the New Sands Hotel in San Juan, Puerto Rico, December 25th and 26th. We've got to find out about the 10th here. We can't get to Anchorage. Would you welcome Mr. David Brenner?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm in Alaska right now. Next week, I'm in Alaska. Well, the big news here, everybody's all excited about the Russians are leaving now, and we're getting rid of the missiles. But meanwhile, did you see something that struck me? A little article. You know what we're doing in the Persian Gulf now? We got rid of all the missiles. We are training dolphins to swim up and blow up ships. Dolphins. Why don't we just whip by in a speedboat and throw some pit bulls on deck? But of course, we'll give them a good 20-minute warning that we're attacking. That's a new thing now. You call up the enemy and you warn them. Isn't that stupid? That's like being in a street fight. You tell the guy, go home, put on a cup. I'm going to kick you between the legs. I thought one interesting thing is that they asked President Reagan why he doesn't clear up the whole business in the Persian Gulf. We're a big nation. Why don't we just go in there and clean it? He said, because, do you see this quote? Khomeini's followers are not stupid people. No, they're not stupid people. These are people who swallow gunpowder, put a fuse in their ear, get taped to the front of a truck and driven into a building to blow it up. They're not stupid. They're moody. They're very moody. These are very moody people. I think all governments are kind of dumb. Did you see the thing that our government did now? You ever notice this? Whenever we have a national health crisis in this country and the federal government doesn't know what to do about it, instead of just admitting it, they do something very dumb. Now look what's been going on. 14 cases of the bubonic plague have been reported in Idaho, or one of those states you forget right after you get out of high school. Now, of course, you wouldn't expect the federal government to know what to do about it, right? There hasn't been a case of the bubonic plague in what, 150, 200 years? So instead of the government just coming out on television and saying, we don't know what the hell to do about it, did you see what they're doing to stop this from spreading? They are putting up posters in government buildings warning us, all 242 million Americans, never play with a dead animal. Now, I don't know about you, but you know, sometimes after dinner, really, I like to, you know, just take a nice stroll over to a highway, pick up a dead raccoon and whip around a little bit. No more. Well, that's as dumb as this 1-minute spot. Have you seen on television this spot that the government produced? It's a very good intention, urging all Americans who can afford it to get a smoke alarm for their apartment or their house. Now, it's a great idea. But have you seen this 1-minute film? Only the federal government could think this dumb. The film starts out, you see a young couple late at night sleeping in bed. And you know how the federal government thinks we're all baboons? They have to narrate this. A young couple, late at night, is sleeping in bed. I thought they're unconscious and bowling. And you see smoke start to seep in under the door. This is the smoke. Now, the smoke goes by them. They don't smell it. They don't smell it. All right. But lucky, the smoke swirls its way up and sets off the smoke alarm. Ding, 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 ding. And the husband wakes up. Get up, it's hot. I have a headache. Come on. Not the happy hammer, the house is on fire. Not the happy. Get up. So they get up, right? They run. Quick, the children. Save the children. They run into the children's bedroom. All right, come on, Miffy, Buffy, Glenn, Brad, Scotty, come on. You can tell they filmed this in the Midwest, right? Oh, sure, Becky's would be, hey, Guido, get your ass out of bed. We're burning, baby. Come on. Now, come on. Gotta run in, right? They run. Come on. Oh, come on, Boomer the dog, Boomer. Come on, Puffer the cat. Come on, Puffer. They all run outside. They stand on the front lawn, holding hands. They watch their house burn to the ground. They're very happy. Now, during the entire time, as the narrator is talking, the federal government has a man in a corner of the TV screen doing this. Now, either that smoke alarm comes off the ceiling and hits that guy in the head, well, that's about as dumb as, have you seen the government billboards that are all over this country? Off the highways, these huge billboards that has illiterate, call 1-800. The dumbest sign I've ever seen in my life. I saw it out here. It's still here. You can see. You can check it out. I looked at this sign. I stared at it for 5 minutes. All right. In Los Angeles, on the door of the International House of Pancakes. Aren't you glad they finally went international? Do you really think that that company's international? Like, you go next week to Paris, Pardon-moi. Ooh, hey, Pancake International. Come on. On the door of the International House of Pancakes, The door leading into the restaurant, they have a sign on the door. We have menus in Braille. I went in, I told the manager, why don't you make it bigger in case they're across the street? Thank you.
That's funny stuff. Oué la maison de pancake. I love that. Glad to introduce. We'll do this first. We're coming right back. Stay where you are.
Give me the man that is not passion's slave. Shakespeare. I like that one.
Elizabeth Taylor's Passion.
A lot of beautiful moments in life have been messed up by lousy photography. But this couldn't happen with the Nikon N4004. It's an autofocus, autoflash, 35mm SLR that makes it almost impossible to take a bad picture. The N4004. The only mistake you can make is buying something else.
Uncle Henry, I can't wait to see these pictures.
Now, fly Pan Am and get a companion ticket for half price when you buy a Nikon.
The Wimples used to use wimpy bags till the Cinchel suggested a cinch sack.
Hefty cinch sack.
A cinch to close.
No. A cinch to lift. Say.
And a cinch to carry.
No.
Hefty cinch sack.
Touchstone Pictures presents Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, Ted Danson.
Angela, you look different. What happened?
I'm dressed.
When it comes to women, they're all American. When it comes to babies, they're all wet.
I don't know anything about taking care of babies.
You do realize she did a doodle.
Oh.
This is a girl. Should we be doing this?
Are they always this strange? Yes. Since they got involved with another woman.
3 men and a baby.
I'll give you $10 if you stop crying.
Rated PG.
Now playing at a theater near you, check newspaper for showtime.
Waiting long?
Not at all.
It's so good to see you.
Mont, my appointment is bursting. Life is too
Hectic, but you look
fabulous. I adore
your outfit. I brought you
an early Christmas present.
For
me?
Silk
Perfume.
I wouldn't be caught
Dead without it.
Undie salad.
No dressing.
Bill Glass Perfume. Treat yourself to our holiday gala color splendors. Now at May Company.
Philip Michael Thomas hosts an all-new Motown Merry Christmas with the Pointer Sisters, the Temptations, and many more in Motown's Merry Christmas Monday.
Tonight on Late Night, Steve Martin and Charlie Sheen.
It's television the way it was meant to be, although just between you and me, I don't think they meant it to be too much.
Your Chrysler Plymouth dealers are making their best deals of the year on the best selection ever, like Chrysler's Fifth Avenue. It comes with a bigger engine and more standard luxury features than the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, and you'll save over $3,400 with factory-to-dealer incentives, maybe even more. Chrysler New Yorker combines turbo performance with stately creature comforts for thousands less than the Buick Electra. Both come with an unbeatable 770 protection plan. Buy yours at your Southern California Chrysler Plymouth dealer today.
Oh, lady, what a tough day. I need my soothing ones.
When you're looking for slippers with something extra, follow the expert. She knows the difference. Some slippers are just warm. But Isotoner booties also massage tired feet.
Good girl, lady.
This Christmas, give Isotoner warm-lined slippers.
Achievement has its own rewards. The Corum Admiral's Cup watch. Power, beauty, precision, signaling the hour. A mastery of design and engineering. The Admiral's Cup watch from Corum. Available at Neiman Marcus.
They're paid to stay virgins tomorrow at 3 on Donahue.
Okay, the mystery is solved, folks. Obviously, the mystery has been solved. Obviously, David is not in Anchorage, Alaska
No,
tonight, but he's going to be there next Thursday, the 17th of December, at the Sullivan Arena.
Yeah,
right?
One-nighter.
Okay.
Last 6 months.
So, we're almost at the end of this.
Long gig, a long
That'd be
gig.
funny, you play a one-nighter and you're there for
Yeah,
6 months.
yeah.
It's been a good year for you, haven't it?
Yeah, it's been a terrific year. I think it's learned a lot. I had some successes, I had some failures. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not the person to give you advice, Johnny, but, you know, it's done a lot for me. And I just want to tell you one thing I've learned to pass on to you.
Yeah.
No matter how much money you're ever offered, right? No matter how good the deal sounds, never, ever, if you don't mind me saying so, become the host of a talk show. You have no idea the aggravation involved. Don't do it, John.
Showing up every night.
Don't do it.
Is murder. Do you like the holidays? A lot of people get depressed during the holidays. They're stressful. They say, God, I can't wait till it's over.
No, I'll tell you why. Because, first of all, I hardly know when there was a holiday because of work.
Yeah.
But this year, after doing the sands in Puerto Rico for the 2 nights in Christmas, I'm getting on a sailboat, and I'm going for 2 weeks with my friends, and I'm sailing the Caribbean.
You sail, huh?
Yeah, I get away from it all. You don't hear any news. You get the big news. Like, I remember when I was in Turkey, I sailed off of Turkey for a month in the summer, last summer. It's a great country. And you could see, even though it's a foreign language, you could see evangelists, the whole thing with the evangelists. And, you know, and I got a question. You know, this is a theological question. See if you can figure this out. I've never been able to figure this out.
I'm not a scholar.
Yeah, but, you know, just theologically speaking,
Although
you know.
I live close to Jim and Tammy.
Yeah, right. There's an evangelist in this country. He's one of the top 10. And he has his own network program, all right? Followers, millions and millions of dedicated, die-hard followers. The man's an evangelist. He also is a faith healer. He heals people, all right?
Okay.
And he wears a toupee. I don't get it. Right?
If he's really good.
If he can fix the guy's legs, why can't he put a few more hairs on his own head? Someone should tell him at night, pal, sleep like this.
You have hair.
Yeah, sleep, heal it. That's what Baker should have done with his wife. Slept with his hand over. Oh, come on, don't do me. Yeah. Don't do me. I didn't do her makeup, man. She looks like Scratch and Sniff. Don't do me. Yeah, right?
Real shot. In by 9, not by 5. Yeah.
No, that was bad. Well, that was a whole sexual. I think sex is behind a lot of scandals, though. If you really look, yeah, if you look, Johnny, at the sexual scandals, like the one that got to me, though, the one that really got to me was the United States Marines in our embassy in Russia selling secrets to the Russians in exchange for sexual favors. That's terrible. You know what upset me the most about that?
No.
I was in the Army, and I didn't have one damn secret.
Nothing to give away.
Well, how much are you going to get for knowing the PX is closing Friday at 7? You know.
Where were you staying? Were you overseas?
Yeah, I was in Germany. I was drafted in. Of course, I was drafted. What? The Jews going to join something like that? You know.
What did you do in Germany?
Believe it or not, what I did, it's so current. I guarded missile sites.
What?
Yes. Doesn't that make you feel better?
Guarded?
Yeah, I guarded missile, and I want to tell you
God,
something.
I'll sleep. I would have slept better at night if I'd have known that.
Well, most of the other guys were guarding because McDonald's wasn't hiring that summer, so don't feel like I was so... But I'll tell you something about missiles. I don't know if you ever saw ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. The big guys, they're about 10 or 12 stories high.
Right.
On the tip of each one of them is an atomic bomb. There were like 60 of them there. You want to hear something ludicrous? I was guarding them with a rifle. And we paint them camouflage colors. It's the weirdest thing in the world, like Rambo shirts, brown, green, and tan. And I used to stand there and think, why? So the Russians think we're shooting trees at them? Put them blue with little clouds on them. Whoa.
I gotta cut away. We'll be right back. Ray Charles.
Both of these stop the symptoms of a cold. But 12-hour contact works twice as long as Actifed tablets. So if you're sneezing, congested, or have a runny nose, which would you rather take? Until there's a cure, there's contact.
This is the dawn of Glorious. Glorious, the joyous new fragrance by Gloria Vanderbilt. Bursting with a promise of things to come. Enter the world of Glorious by Gloria Vanderbilt. And may all your days be glorious.
Brock's knows the art of making chocolates. Take Brock's chocolate-covered peanuts, the finest fresh-roasted peanuts, double-dipped for taste and freshness in Brock's rich, real milk chocolate. Chocolate-covered peanuts, a work of art, because nobody treats America like Brock's.
Alpha Beta announces big presents with small price tags. It's our 4-day watch sale, featuring watches for everyone on your list for just $39.95 each. Imagine, Seiko watches for just $39.95, as well as Citizen watches, just $39.95, and other major brands like Casio and Pulsar, all just $39.95 each. Don't miss this chance to get big presents at the small price of $39.95 during the 4-day watch sale right now at Alpha Beta.
This Saturday only.
8 a.m. to midnight.
A one-day sale.
At May Company.
25% off entire stock.
Mrs. Sweaters.
Velour jog sets.
Warm sleepwear and robes.
30% off entire stock Arrow and designer dress shirts.
And every sweater for men.
60% off entire stock.
Regular price 14-karat gold.
Sterling silver jewelry.
Full-length mink coats.
And this Zenith Compact VHS camcorder, only $988.
Plus, you may defer payment till March.
The spectacular one-day sale.
8 a.m. to midnight.
This Saturday only.
Only.
At May Company.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is one of the true greats in the music world, and they've just come out with this greatest hits on compact disc. Would you welcome Mr. Ray Charles?
You chain the sunshine, the rain. For a thrill, babe. You fill my heart with pain, babe. To me, you were my pride and joy. But to you, I was merely a toy. A plaything that you could toss around at will. Just for thrill, babe. How you made my life one sad song. I know it was for a thrill. Left me by myself, baby. Although you're free, having your fun. To me, you're still the only one. Oh, you made my heart stand still. Just for a thrill. said so. Did you hear me? It was for a thrill, I know. I just left me alone. I'm by myself now. But although you're free and having your fun, to me, you're still the only one. Oh, you made my heart stand still just for a thrill now. Made my heart stand still just for a thrill. Come here, baby. Ah, you know you did it.
We'll be back in a moment.
More profound than words. Diamonds.
If you're in Los Angeles and you're looking for a laugh, you don't have to go too far. Just head down Melrose to the Improvisation, and you'll get an evening of hoots and howls in a place where a lot of today's top comedians got their start. But if you go, bring your sense of humor and your Visa card. Because at the Improv, they don't take anything seriously. And they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
A fast-moving family like ours has a lot of cars. And we could spend a fortune taking care of them. Instead, we go to Jiffy Lube every 3,000 miles. In 10 minutes with no appointment, the J-Team changes the oil with Pennzoil, replaces the filter, lubes the chassis, fills the important fluids. 14 quality services for one low price.
No matter what kind of car you drive. Welcome to Jiffy Lube. We'll take care of you.
Register to win a trip to Super Bowl 22 at Jiffy Lube.
Everyone has a point of view on why Ford's been so successful. The Taurus. Ford gave the Taurus all this style and all these doors. Really helps if you have little kids or big clients. And as good as it looks, this car won't take you to the cleaners. Unless, of course, you want to go there.
Okay, we're back with Ray Charles. Good to see you, Ray.
All right, John.
Oh, good to have you here. I just asked David if he likes working during the holidays. Most entertainers usually work on Christmas and New Year's when everybody else is at home. Do you like work on the holidays, or?
Yeah, I actually, to tell you the real truth, I'm more than delighted to work the holidays. You're quite right. A lot of people don't enjoy working the holidays, but But I do, because it seems to me, you know, it makes people happy, and they enjoy the music, and I enjoy making them happy. And, of course, I'm an old man now, and all my kids are grown now, so I don't
What do you
have
mean
to,
old man? What do you call old?
Well, I don't have to put trains together anymore. Of course, I guess they don't have... I guess they don't have those anymore. Everything is computerized now. They don't have things like trains and you know, and...
Oh, kids go for laser
bicycles and
stuff now. Yeah,
Huh?
they don't go for trains anymore.
Oh,
I guess
sorry.
lasers, computers, and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Right. So anyway, I'm sort of blessed in that I don't have to do that anymore. So as a result, Christmas time, it's a lot of fun to watch people enjoy themselves, and they're so happy and so pleased, and everybody's so excited, and you know, and it's really great to, you know, because I like to be a part of that, because I figure by January everybody's going to be so miserable because the bills are going to start coming in.
Yeah, well, those credit cards start showing
That's
up.
right.
January,
You got it,
February.
my friend. That's it.
Hey, last night they did a show for the Lifetime Grammy winners, and it was a marvelous show. You were one of them, along with, I guess, Roy Acuff and Isaac Stern and Fats Domino and a couple of other people. What? B.B. King. Yeah, that was a hell of a good show. Yeah.
Yeah. I was quite honored to, you know, among some pretty good heavyweights.
Yeah.
You know.
Pretty good talents there.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, how about Christmas shopping? What do you do for Christmas?
I don't. Well, actually, John, you know what's strange about
I should have asked Ray's opinion on some of this carpet we had a while ago. I want to tell you, we had the worst looking carpet out here.
Well,
How do you handle it anyway?
Maybe I'm blessed. I didn't have to see it.
You're lucky for this carpet, yeah.
No, as I said, when my kids were coming out, Christmas was really a big deal. Of course, when I was a child, it was a big deal too. But now that that's been taken care of, actually, Christmas to me it doesn't have the same meaning. I think maybe I'm sort of haunted by the commercialism of it or something. I don't know. I figure that the people I know that I love, you know, when I see something that they would appreciate, it could be August the 20th or September the 9th or, you know, I don't like to wait till Christmas to buy anybody. I may not have any money by that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if you see something you like during the year, you go give them.
I figure, you know, it's best to give people the things while you can. You know, because, you know, you put something off, man, and times change, you know. You come Christmas time and you discover you don't have no bread and no bone. It's just bad. So, no, I really, I sincerely mean it, although I'm not trying to belittle Christmas, but I really like the thought now that to just, if I got anything to give you, John, I'll give it to you when I think of it.
Okay.
Believe me, you got it, baby.
I'll give you a list right after the show.
All right.
And I've been naughty and nice, too. What was the very first Christmas you ever remember? As a kid, was it 3, 4 years old?
You know,
5?
it's a strange thing about Christmas. I guess the Christmas that probably I remember most of all is you probably wouldn't appreciate hearing about too much, but what I really remember, I must have been about 11. See, in those days, you didn't know what was happening with Christmas. I mean, I still thought Santa Claus was Santa Claus, and I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a Christmas, and I noticed my mom was just crying, and she kept crying, and she kept... And so anyway, to make a long story short, it turned out to be, it was one of those Christmases where she didn't have any bread, you know, any money, and she couldn't buy me any gifts, and I didn't have no toys or nothing, and she was very hurt by that, you know. And I always remember how she cried, but as it turned out, fortunately, what she didn't know was that the neighbors knew of her plight. They had gotten together.
They all showed up with stuff?
And showed up with some toys. I'll never forget that long as I live.
We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Slang terms of the 60s.
Twin drop.
It's a happening, man. Commands you give a dog.
Stay, pitch, drive.
Outburst from Western Publishing, the fast new way to have fun.
Baby words for biological functions.
Introducing Night Spice, with a required note of caution. Wear it only at night. Night Spice, a new fragrance for men. Far too romantic for the day.
Spray on the flavor, brush on the flavor, stream on the flavor from Presto.
Electric or microwave hot topper. A touch of flavor, easy cleanup too.